What if every human suddenly disappeared? No wars, no politics, no traffic, just silence. But here's the scary part. Human civilization wouldn't disappear with us. Nuclear plants would still be running. Thousands of planes would still be in the sky. Millions of pets would still be locked inside homes. And within just a few hours, the entire planet would begin to change. The question is, how long would Earth take to erase every trace of humanity? In the first few minutes, the world would appear almost normal. Traffic lights would still change. TVs would still broadcast live news to nobody. Phones would continue ringing inside empty homes. But across the planet, disasters would already be starting. Airplanes flying at 35,000 feet would lose communication instantly. Some planes could stay in the air for hours using autopilot, but eventually, they would run out of fuel. On roads and highways, millions of moving vehicles would become uncontrolled. Trains would continue running at full speed. Inside hospitals, surgeries would suddenly stop mid-operation. Elevators would freeze between floors. And slowly, the world would begin realizing something terrifying. Humanity was gone, but civilization was still running. Within hours, the first airplanes would begin falling from the sky. Modern aircraft can fly using autopilot, but autopilot cannot refuel a plane. And once fuel runs out, hundreds of aircraft across the planet would eventually crash. High-speed trains would become uncontrollable. Railway systems depend on constant human coordination. Without operators managing signals, collisions would become inevitable. But the most terrifying threat would be nuclear power plants. Even after shutdown, nuclear reactors continue generating massive amounts of heat, which means without engineers controlling cooling systems, some reactors could eventually overheat. Explosions, radiation leaks, entire regions becoming dangerously contaminated. And it wouldn't stop there. Across millions of homes, stoves would still be burning. Electrical systems would continue malfunctioning. Small fires would slowly turn into massive infernos. And with no firefighters left alive, entire cities could burn for days. Meanwhile, millions of pets would remain trapped inside homes, waiting for owners that would never come back. Because the moment humanity disappeared, everything we controlled was suddenly left unfinished. After 1 week, Earth would no longer feel human. Most cities across the planet would already be without electricity. At night, entire countries would disappear into darkness. From space, Earth would begin looking strangely empty. Streets would be filled with abandoned vehicles. Subway tunnels in major cities would slowly flood with water. Because without humans operating drainage systems, underground networks were never meant to survive for long. Air pollution would begin falling rapidly. For the first time in decades, some skies would actually become clear again. But while some parts of Earth became quieter, others would become far more dangerous. Nuclear reactors that failed during the first days could leave behind massive radioactive zones. Entire regions around them would become uninhabitable, not because of explosions, but because radiation could silently spread through the environment. Cities near these reactors would remain frozen in time. Empty streets, abandoned homes, silent warning alarms with nobody left to hear them. And slowly, nature would begin entering the human world again. Deer would walk through empty highways. Wild dogs would roam abandoned neighborhoods. Birds would begin nesting inside silent buildings. Meanwhile, millions of domesticated animals would still be struggling to survive. Farms, zoos, aquariums. Most were never designed to function without humans. And with every passing day, the planet would begin changing from a world built for humans into a world without them. After 1 year, nature would no longer be waiting. Roads would begin cracking apart. Grass and weeds would grow through highways once filled with traffic. In many cities, vines would slowly start covering buildings. Floodwater left unchecked for months would weaken underground structures. Some streets could completely collapse. Bridges would begin rusting without constant maintenance. Seawater, rain, wind, all slowly tearing human infrastructure apart. In coastal cities, storms and flooding would become even more destructive. Without pumps protecting subways and tunnels, entire underground systems could remain underwater permanently. Across the planet, pets that survived would slowly become wild. Dogs would form packs. Farm animals would roam freely. Some species would rapidly increase in population without human interference. And above Earth, another silent collapse would begin. Thousands of satellites orbiting the planet require constant adjustments from humans. Without them, many would slowly stop functioning. Communication systems would continue disappearing one by one. By now, the human world would already look ancient, as if civilization had been abandoned for decades. After 100 years, the modern world would become almost unrecognizable. Most cities on Earth would already be collapsing, without humans constantly repairing them. Even the strongest buildings were never designed to survive forever. Steel frameworks inside skyscrapers would slowly weaken from rust. Concrete would crack apart from decades of rain, heat, and freezing temperatures. One by one, many skyscrapers would eventually collapse. Roads and highways would begin disappearing beneath forests and soil. In many regions, it would become difficult to tell a city ever existed there. Nature would now dominate places once controlled by humanity. Forests could spread through abandoned suburbs. Rivers would carve through broken streets. Wildlife would roam freely through the ruins of civilization. And in the oceans, many human structures would already be dissolving into rust and decay. But despite humanity disappearing a century ago, some traces of us would still survive. Plastic, radioactive waste, massive monuments, silent reminders that a civilization once ruled this planet. But Earth itself would already be moving on. After thousands of years, Earth would barely remember us. Most modern cities would already be completely gone. Forests, oceans, deserts would slowly erase the last remains of human civilization. Roads would disappear beneath layers of soil and vegetation. Many coastlines would look completely different after centuries of storms and rising waters. Almost every glass building, every vehicle, every machine humanity once created would have already turned into dust. Even satellites orbiting Earth today would eventually fall back through the atmosphere, burning apart in the sky with nobody left to witness it. But some traces of humanity could survive far longer than others. Massive stone structures like pyramids, tunnels, and underground bunkers might still remain partially standing. Plastic waste could continue existing for thousands of years, and radioactive materials created by humans may continue contaminating parts of Earth long after civilization disappears. But eventually, even those traces would begin fading away, and after enough time, Earth would no longer look like a planet once ruled by humans. It would simply become Earth again. Humanity spent thousands of years building civilization, cities, roads, empires, machines that connected the entire planet. But without us, Earth would keep moving forward. Forests would continue growing, oceans would continue rising and falling, life would continue evolving, and slowly, every trace of humanity would fade into silence. Not in a single day, not even in a single century, but eventually, almost everything we built would disappear, as if we were never here at all. And perhaps the strangest part is, Earth would survive perfectly fine without humanity, but humanity could never survive without Earth. And if documentaries like this spark your curiosity about Earth, science, and the future of humanity, consider subscribing, because your support helps us continue exploring the biggest mysteries of our world.